And let me fix JoeCrazy real fast. But welcome everybody. It's I, the Roguescaper, here, and we are painting tonight. We got the one, the only JoeCrazy with us tonight. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm fantastic. How are you, Rogue?
I'm happy to be here. I was telling you before the stream, but it's been a long couple weeks for me ever since I got back from SaskCon. So nothing more relaxing and or therapeutic than getting some paint on some minis today. We're going to be painting up Thyraxis in honor of JoeCrazy. We're going to make this a To-marro style. It's honestly one of the most popular like commissions I get. I think I've painted like 4 or 5 at this point. To-marro with Thyraxis. I painted one for like Sir Heroscape. I think you might have seen him open it up on his channel if you follow him, amongst other people. So it's a fun one to get done. I'm gonna get things set up, Joe. You fill the void real fast here.
Filling the air with my radio styles. We'll take requests. Which I'll pull up chat in a minute just so I can see all that too. I'm currently in Minecraft. I put in some time in both my Xbox and on PC. On a I don't know how to phrase it. Xbox has this program where if you play games on either PC or Xbox, you will acquire points if you play at least 15 minutes a day. And then you go on the app and then cash in the points. And then eventually, if you accumulate enough points, you can actually spend those points on gift cards, where I can use them for battle passes for games that I play. So every day I come home from work, I have a routine of doing the 15 minutes on Xbox. I come upstairs, I'll do my 15 minutes on Minecraft, which is the PC game that I like to play. I mean, look, I can play Gears of War too, but like, you know, I have a server I've been playing for like the longest time, so I just like run around and do some things on there. So that's what I'm currently doing. Hopefully, we've got some Bedrock players out there. Otherwise, Java, been getting into the Java recently.
Nice cup of Java.
It's nice because of the Java. You know, I'm gonna get the Java going. I got myself into playing some modded servers with some family members. So that's been an interesting experience because I don't really like. I mean, look, I love the mods. Don't get me wrong. I prefer vanilla.
I'm vanilla so ice cream, bad at Minecraft.
Vanilla Minecraft. How is someone bad at Minecraft?
I'm really bad at Minecraft. I try to sometimes play with my my sister and my brother-in-law who are like really into it, and I'm directionally challenged. So like they do the like survivor mode. I literally somehow ended up near bedrock, like in a single hex like tunnel, and because I got lost, like I kept on digging down instead of going up, and I was 10 feet away from the house we built. And yeah, it's
all right. So you're telling if Hexala joins in here, they can confirm to me about your directionalism.
If Hexala pops up in chat, yeah, they can confirm a lot of things for sure.
Don't worry, I got your back.
Yeah,
I got your back. I'll take them on.
Hexala is on a smear campaign against me right now after our events in Gen Con. Just saying hi to chat. We have Wolf Demon Wizard here saying glad to catch the stream. Hope our lads are doing good. We are doing quite good tonight. I hope you're doing good as well. We have the Custom Scaper doing some To-marro tonight as well. Also saying let's go. And Billy Rager is saying what is this? This is a pretty much I don't have a fun name for it yet, but it's something new. Pretty much I'm going to be painting, doing the kind of normal Thursday thing, but instead of listening to me lose my train of thought all night, I'll have someone else lose their train of thought for me.
Yeah, that ain't happening. That ain't happening.
Nah, we are both focused individuals.
Foreshadowing the future.
I did a interview with JoeCrazy, and we had to cut out a lot just for time's sake because we started talking about. I think I cut out about an hour and a half of the interview because we started talking about a bunch of different things.
Oh my god, yeah, that was. Oh, what a time! What a time!
I've been wanting to do some more of those lately, just some more because we've been having so many content creators pop up.
Yeah, it's honestly truly amazing. And I tell TOV Ryan this all the time because, we'll showcase these content creators on the podcast, on the TOV podcast, and I'll say it time and time again. Look, I'm so happy everyone is coming in, trying it out. And I've had my hiatuses. This has been my longest hiatus I've had. I get it. But it's consistency, right? Let's see how consistent someone can be in producing content, and also can they improve on something that someone's already been doing, or find a way to do something differently. I enjoy the idea that someone can come in, talk about a thing, or showcase an aspect of Heroscape in a different light. I was talking to people. I went to Maryland for a Mars event last weekend, and I was talking to a bunch of the escapers out there. And I was talking. I'm like, look, I'm surprised no one's done it. I know I'm going to start doing it this year, but everyone is more than welcome to do it as well. Is start reading articles on Heroscapers.com. There is endless content there. Just go read a thing. If you feel comfortable to reach out and say, hey, I want to do a video about this topic, if someone might say yes or no about it, but whatever, or maybe not even, I don't know how people feel about the, sharing different things, even though it's technically already on the internet. I don't know how that works, but find an article. If it's something competitive, something casual, something creative, a custom thing. I don't know how many actual customs on there that aren't even the VC related. Even next to NGC, right? There's people make their own custom characters, either from Warhammer or whatever figure. I'm sure there's someone has a dispenser of salt as a character. I'm sure someone has. I would love to see that. I have standing right here. I've been thinking about these little alien dudes. I have 3 identical of these alien dudes. I know they're hard to see. I'm in the corner here, but I have these little gray little alien guys, and I'm coming up with some ideas for them. And I'd love to be able to then, once I have something solid, I'll share that. And that's that. I think somebody does it. I'm going to have to go find it now because it's going to bother me I don't want to not name drop them. But somebody's doing that in the community, is just making talking about customs either they made or they find online. Like I said, they could range from very competitively viable to the goofiest thing you've ever seen. And that's awesome. I'd like to see it. Let's see, custom Heroscape figures. I'm sure it'll come right up, because the algorithm should work that way. Skateboard. That's it.
Skateboard, that's it.
Skateboard is definitely doing that thing, which is awesome. And not to say that because he's doing it that someone else shouldn't. Go ahead. But I am so happy that there's so many more content creators jumping into the ring, and I welcome you to this adventure, because we this community needs to get bigger. But from the stories I've heard, when I first went to ScapeCon 2, and I was telling everybody how excited I was that I was going, and all the Heroscapers were like, is he gonna be cool or not? I don't know. I remember talking to them and be like, Joe, we were just as afraid to meet you that I'm sure you were afraid to meet all of us. Because if you go to ScapeCon, you'll see it's a tight-knit family.
Yeah, it's pretty close.
It is an extremely an amazing experience, and the different people that you meet in this community, man, gold standard, honestly.
Yeah, and if you're thinking about starting content, feel free to reach out to me. I don't want to speak for Joe, but I'm sure Joe would love to be reached out to as well.
Of course,
I love meeting
please.
I love meeting new creators and stuff like that. So it's my joy to get people started, give them advice, and give them recommendations. I'm going to catch up with chat real fast here, as we got some people saying some things. So we got Billy Rager saying, I want to ask a series of questions about Marrow coloring. You base coat and then overlay. I'm about to show and just clamp up. Feel free to ask as many questions. I get so many questions about Marrow that it is definitely high on my to-do list of telling people how to do it, because I'm still kind of figuring it out. But no, yeah, I'll definitely be letting people know what I'm doing and explaining some of that once I kind of get into it. Right now, we're just base coating in a black-green, just to give us a nice dark green to work up from as we kind of build up to some more yellowy greens. We're doing all this out of the way because we don't want to layer that lighter color Marrow flesh tone and then just have it, be messy and get it. And layering up white colors or light colors is a pain in the butt if you have dark colors next to it. I'm not Custom Scaper. Custom Scaper sent me some Deathwalkers to paint up as Marrow. Not tonight. They are on my to-do list. I'm going to have a stream where I just paint Custom Scaper stuff. Haven't had a chance to prime those ones adequately, but they
Wait, you're saying Deathwalkers?
Yeah, Custom Scapers sent me a box filled with a bunch of goodies, which thank you for that again. But they wanted some Deathwalkers painted up like Marrow, which is a challenge for sure. That's why I haven't done it yet. I don't know. I think I would do a base tone.
Those are my two favorite factions. I don't know how do you do that? What's the vision?
I haven't figured it out yet. That's the reason I haven't done it, is I haven't figured out the plan, but I have some ideas.
Oh, fascinating.
I can use streams like these to introduce new content creators to the community. Just an idea. Definitely reach out to me if you want to hop on a paint stream with me. DM me. My Discord DMs, I'm always trying to respond to, at least as best as possible. It's the best way to reach me. Hop on and just say, hey, I want to join you in a stream, and we can see if we can get it going. James Bush says the Endless Dragoons. Yeah, I think this is number 15, 16 I've painted. And the Marrow Plagues evolved. Not even Soulborgs are safe. That's a whole tangent right there. Me and Joe have talked a lot about Marrow and stuff like that. Just because the Marrow by nature are gene splicers, and I would love for them to start incorporating, like how Wosaga is like the big snake. I'd love for them to start incorporating more Heroscape species. Like, why don't we have a Kyrie Marrow flying around? Or some kind of weird thing that looks like that.
Like, I have another, like a duplicate of the new Raylan, the one that can jump around for the Revenge. And I want to paint her to be like Marrow, like Mind Shackle.
That'd be cool.
And trying to figure out like a way to like have like green vines kind of wrap around her legs, and maybe like have it drip on her wings as well. But I do want flying Marrow. Speaking of something that can fly, I want bats.
Ooh, Demo bats, type of deal.
Yeah, yeah, like a common squad of bats that fly around and like, what can they do? Something about like they should be like something like the zombies, right? Where you could take like 6 of them and combine your attack into like one, because they're all flying around you like crows. And just like it's instead of like a murder of crows, it's like a murder of like these bat Marrow. Like, would be so annoying.
And just give them War Witch bonding while you're at it too. That'd be pretty fun. Bond with Kimoshi.
Yes, would be totally fitting her MO. With,
just crazy bat things.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I'm gonna mix up some some Marrow flesh tone here. So for the formula I use or figured out, you want to use like an off-white, an off-tan, and a yellow. So I'm using Daemonic Yellow, Skeleton Bone, and beige, Brain Matter Beige from Army Painter. Now the ratios is kind of dependent on what era of Marrow you want, because there's so many different forms of Marrow. You can do, the nagrubs here, but the drones are a lot more yellowy. Typically you want to do about 2 parts white, 1 part brown, and about 1 or 2 parts yellow, kind of depending on how yellowy you want it to be. Mainly the thing is you want it to be a lot brighter than you think it should be. Mainly because we're going to put a lot of washes and other stuff on it, and if it's not bright enough, it'll look kind of muddy. So it's always better to go a little bit brighter instead of a little bit darker.
Now every time.
Oh, what were you saying? I was gonna say
every time you do a dragoon, is it the process the same? Like, do you try not even just the order of layers, but even everything I'm sure will come out different every time based on because you're mixing a lot of the paints. But is the idea the same that you're going for, or is there different variations you try?
Well, most of them for other people, so it kind of depends on what they want. Most people want either a classic or a Marrow is what I have. Someone asked for a volcano one time, so I kind of drew lava lines on it and stuff. But honestly, it took me a while. That's why I haven't made a tutorial on the Dragoon yet. I haven't found it's just okay. So this model is a terrible model for someone who's never painted before. I paint pretty religiously, and I hate painting this guy. It's just too many legs. All the angles, all the legs. If you want to do a good job at it, you really have to just get everywhere, and it's not very accessible. So I'm not a fan of the Thyraxis, but I respect it because it's cool.
What is a good model to start with?
Deckers
anything from the battle box?
Decker's a really good model to paint. That's a fine one. It's small, it's easy. A couple color tones and you're good. Everything's pretty accessible except for kind of the area underneath the drill is a little hard, but it's not terrible. Battle Box is really good. A Awashi is a great model to start painting. Just because she's anything with lots of big open spaces or curves. Sinithrax isn't a very great model to start painting. It's too big, but it's not hard. Yeah. It's good to have sometimes a good show-stopping model. I'd say the dry-ins are all really, really painter-friendly. I enjoy painting all the dry-ins and familiars. And they also just use a lot of earth tones, so it's just easy to put them on. Earth, brown, green, a little splash of purple or something to make it unique. But yeah, for the most part, the scions are not bad. They have some the worst ones I'd say are all the bugs. The bugs are just not fun to paint typically. Yeah,
for how much I'm excited to see what I come up with for the score dyer. It is just there's, like I said, even with this one, right? There's so many legs. Oh my god, the names are escaping me right now. The queen, she is
Maledrix, yeah.
Maledrix is exactly. She's got so many legs, so many undercarriage that you cannot really get into. And honestly, the big thing that I've noticed when it comes to painting, at least for a lot of the 3D printed stuff that I get, there's no base on it, right? It's so easy to do all the painting and then glue it onto a base, where the base is solely attached. Now, would you agree with me that I know once again, very, very controversial topic to be maybe they should come, at least the unpainted boxes should come with the bases off. but
Yeah.
I know why they're doing it because it's embedded within the model itself. But if that was an option, would that be a more preferred option?
As like if you're looking at Heroscape as like a hobbyist venture, most other models that you're painting don't come glued to the base unless they're like even the like D&D Null's pre-painted minis and all that stuff, they kind of come detached from the base. That's the biggest problem with this. There's actually, once I get some more layers on, there is a trick to easily detach a Thyraxis from its base if you really want to hit these undersides. But I want to get these first layers. Yeah, it's the basing, like, things, if you're doing something with, like, the flank, or the flanks, the big one, all the bugs on top of each other. There's no room to do base stuff. It's just kind of glued on. Or even things like the lava crabs. It's like, I wanted to do, like, these really cool, like, molten lava effects. But it's just, there's not enough space, and I don't want to detach, 15 crabs from their bases just to do it. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. There's been a little bit of discussion about that, and like the painter side is just like put the bases detached, and also if they're detached, if you want to do stickers, Renegade could just sell stickers, and then that's like another revenue. Yeah. Just like put them on. Cody Cardboard says, "My dudes, welcome, Cody."
Cody, what's going on?
I got mad at Cody the other day because he
posted. Did?
I really did, because he's like posting this video of this beautiful lake and it's all nice in California, and I looked outside and it was 0 degrees and there was 2 feet of snow on the ground, and I was like, how dare thee?
Yeah, that's pretty insulting, honestly. Yeah. You know what?
Yeah, you didn't think about your Midwest friends when you posted that video.
Hilarious.
What was the weather like up where you live? Is it pretty bad?
Oh yeah, no, we still have snow on the ground. Yeah, we got our 12 plus inches on the ground. Pretty rough out there. Still got ice melting off of the house, and been chopping that up. Got not a pickaxe, but I got an ice chopper thing that I'm getting it through every day. Get to the ice chopper.
Cody says that lake footage was from summer. It doesn't matter. It made me think of summer, which made me even more mad.
Yeah.
But no, Cody does great short form stuff. If you're not subscribed to their channel, definitely follow that.
No, please do. I commented on his one video the other day. I was just like, dude, this looks so professional. I love this. And look, everyone's got an awesome iPhone. They can use it. That's totally fine. But it's the way you use it and the way you edit the footage together, and it's just so smooth and professional. It's just got that like clean charm to it that just makes it pop. And I guarantee that no matter what. Oh, hi, Feej. Hi, Feej. Our bunny Fiji's up here. He usually just kind of appears out of nowhere. You'll see him floating by. There he goes. It's just so clean, and I bet no issue for him to get the attention that he needs. So I know Rogan and I are both kind of slow to the game when it comes to making short content. But that's one of our goals for 2026.
Yeah. Me and Joe are kind of like film buffs, so every time something like really high quality drops, we're always like, have you seen this? This looks really nice.
I mean, you got a hand. I mean, we were just talking about content creators that come into the ring. I'll state it again. If by chance, Cody, you were in here, this is my little speech. Like, I'm very happy to see new people come into the ring and add something to the game, to the content that we're making, and not just, you evolve it more, right? And it's not even like, part of me is like, it's good to see something like that and be like, oh wow, he's doing really this. maybe I have to do something similar or up. It brings all of us up, because then we're like challenged to be like, oh wait, he's making that awesome content. How can I make this, even better too? Like, how do I do this to that, and just really elevate the content, and we all get stronger that way. So I'm just very happy that
BG,
you're learning. What is he doing?
he's trying to chew the little
Hey,
bags
that's
up.
my box. Not the boxes.
I don't want to run out in the middle of the camper.
I will run at him. I have no back. Custom Scaper says, what do you think about Iron Lung? Did you see Iron Lung?
I haven't seen
Rogue?
any movies in so long, but I will pick it
Okay.
up when it drops to streaming, unfortunately.
Does Custom Scaper know that I saw Iron Lung?
You could talk about Iron Lung when you yeah.
Rogue, do you even know what Iron Lung is?
Yeah, I know it's the movie, right? it's the Markiplier indie horror movie, right? Yeah, I know about it. I just haven't seen it. I have 3 kids, so I don't get to go to the movies too often anymore.
Well, Jill, Rogue's got 3 kids. He says he doesn't see movies anymore. That means no more kids. No kids. Bunnies, that's it.
He said 3. There's a difference between 1 and 3.
But we have 2 bunnies. It's totally same thing.
That's true.
Totally on the same level.
Same level.
Same level. Yeah, so I won't spoil anything. Cody said he hasn't seen it. If you can see it, I don't know how much longer it's in theaters. I have no idea. I know it's like very, very limited limited release. But for independent movie, that's I know he has co-writers, but like practically written by him, directed by him, acted by him, and also edited by him. And I know he had people helping editing, all of those process. But solely like it's his love baby. Like, it's really good. I enjoyed it so much.
That's good.
Am I familiar with his content and his stuff? Yes. Do I already know the property of Iron Lung? Yes. People that I know, I talked to a coworker this week, and they said that they were having some issues. It was like a little over 2 hours long, which I'm very familiar. Yes, it is very long. But it had my attention. So I don't know if that kind of deals with the person, like if you know who Markiplier or Iron Lung is about. Does that make any sense? Custom Scaper, did you ask this because you saw it? Did you see the movie? And what did you think about it? I mean, Cody, it's in like 4,000 theaters. It was like everywhere. So it's very possible. But once again, I don't know how long the theaters were running it for, because it is fully independent. So it's not like he went to Paramount and had it put out. Like, it is as if he brought it to a festival, and that festival ran for a weekend, and that was it. So it's very possible that it's like Jill and I went to go see it that weekend, and then that could be it. Who knows? But it made a boatload of money, and I'm just so happy to see a YouTuber do something so amazing and literally almost beat out Disney, like, which is insane. That's just insane.
Yeah, we're reaching kind of the end of the pendulum. If I can talk film theory for a second here, if you'll allow me to take the stand, is if you look at the historical swing of film. Film has always gone through an era of big blockbuster, where eventually the blockbuster eats itself because it's become so big that eventually you swing back into these kind of crazy indie films that really kind of run the circuit. These high budget indie features. And I think hopefully we're swinging out, because I think we had a really great time with Marvel movies and superhero movies, and Star Wars. I think people are just fatigued. We're swinging back into more of I want something small and personal and weird that I've never seen before, because all we see is the same stuff. And I'm not a fan to say like, oh, movies are all bad these days, but it's like people are hungry for something different. So I'm happy it's doing well just from that perspective.
No, for sure. No, absolutely. I mean, we just so bogged down by sequel after sequel after remake after sequel after remake. I'm like, and I get it. studios don't want to take a risk on a new IP, but that's how we got all the stuff that all the sequels and all the stuff they people took a risk. Look at Harry Potter. Harry Potter was a beloved book series, and they were like, "Oh, we'll make that a movie." No one was like, "Wait a minute, hold on. What if we mess up with this? Like this, we're gonna mess this up bad. This could be terrible." But it was great, and everyone loves it. And now they want to remake it as a television series, which is great. I think it'll tell a very much longer story, and they could take things go much longer with it. But once again, everyone loves Daniel Radcliffe, right?
Yeah.
Everyone loves that cast. So what's going to happen now, right? It's going to get a bunch of hate because they got all the different wrong people. This is not a property. This is not a type of thing where you're like, oh, here comes a cameo from Daniel Radcliffe, and they're retelling the entire story from the get-go, from the beginning. So there's not going to be a cameo from Daniel Radcliffe. And if they do, he better be a janitor in the background. That's it. Done. None of this, they did a 3D modeling of Luke Skywalker, and he just shows up and is like, hey, I'm here.
It's I like Daniel Radcliffe's current film trajectory of just doing the weirdest crap imaginable. That's where I like God. Daniel Kraft. Have you ever seen Swiss Army Man? I mean, that is just he said it was his favorite performance he ever did, and he played a dead man the entire time, where Paul Dano has to use the dead man's body to survive off a desert island. It's wild.
Yeah, I haven't seen that yet, but it's on my list. But it's also Guns Akimbo? Yeah. I forget how they pronounce it.
Oh, that one too.
But the one he has the guns attached to his arms.
That's the Daniel Radcliffe I like. That's just let him do weird nonsense. Wolf Demon Wizard says real fast, out of curiosity, do we have anyone in the community who makes music inspired by the game? There's such a deficit. Right now, there are two areas carved out very well in the community. That is competitive discussion, and I'd say now there's a lot larger surge of artistic expression, painting, stuff like that. A lot more, I was there when there was no one there, but I'm so happy to see a bunch more people doing that. But I think auxiliary stuff for Heroscape is missing. Art and comics and music, there's nothing there. It's a wasteland.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Wolf Demon. I am so happy you just said that. I was pondering about that this week, and I've been cooking on some stuff that I do not want to share yet because I want to make sure it's perfect. So give me a little time. I'm cooking something. If the community likes it or not, I don't care. I like it a lot. So give me some time with that one. I got you. So yeah, that's that. Cody says Swiss Army Man is still on my list. What was the other one where he had horns? Yeah. Hold on. I will look that one up. IMBD is my friend.
It was my homepage for a while now, but it got replaced by Heroscape.org. So that's. And for those watching and wondering what I'm actually painting, I'm using Angel Green just to kind of give a bit more of a blue. The black green is fine, and I use it as just a base to fill in it, but I'm using Angel Green from Army Painter to give it an off bluish look. And when we transition to more of a yellow green, it's going to really kind of provide that contrast we're looking for. About Swiss Army Man, the one critic said, the first fart will make you laugh. The last fart will make you cry.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, no, it was literally just called Horns, by the way.
Horns.
That was... Yeah. What was the one where he had horns? It was called Horns. What's the tagline for this one? It says,
he has horns.
Love hurts like hell. Okay.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good tagline.
Yeah. I like that.
What was your favorite movie you saw in 2025? We're still kind of close to the new year.
Oh my god, 2025. Yeah. Okay, does it have to be a movie from the theaters? A wide
No, it's
release? Because
just
I'll
it
tell
can be
you.
something that any movie, because I believe film is timeless. So if you saw a movie from
Yeah.
1995 and 2025 and it impacted you, that's your favorite movie of 2025. So
So I'll say this. Jill's gonna cringe. Um, so I think my favorite movie to talk about and tell people that I watched was from a director. I've mentioned this before. Neil Breen. Have I? I'm
you
sure.
mentioned,
I'm
yeah,
sure I've
yeah.
mentioned this. Neil Breen. Look him up. Look him up. I watched his newest project. I know he's got another one cooking. We saw a trailer for it most recently, and he's not doing any green screen work anymore. Thank goodness. Thank goodness, because I'll tell you, he did a lot of green screen work in the one that I saw. I watched it at my bachelor party, and man, I think my friends and I went insane during that film. And I think it was my favorite experience watching a movie this year. Did I really enjoy Superman? Yes. But no movie will almost make my head spin and go, wait, why are we seeing that shot again? Wait, is he actually in that Lamborghini? Wait, how did he do that shot? Because it looks like he's in there, but I don't know. Wait, so how many times, so is he in charge of the school with the mutants? Or is he the leader of it? Who's experimenting on who here? Like, it's just a lot of weird questions. And I feel like the scenes were going on forever and ever and ever, and things were just happening over and over again. I'm just like my head was spinning. We were all laughing, dying. It was a ride. Man, and now once again, my head's gonna blank again. Forgot the name of it. So I'm gonna look that one up. It is a sequel. It's the first time he's ever done a sequel for a film. Oh man, just look this man up. I love Neil Breen.
It's like someone once said, to watch a good movie is an experience, but to watch a bad movie is sublime.
Yeah. Cade: The Tortured Crossing.
Okay.
Which is a sequel to Twisted Pair. So yeah, I think Double Down is still my favorite out of that collection. But my favorite title for a movie he made was called I Am Here. Now. That's because there's like 4 or 5 dots in between I Here and Now. So every time I say it, that's how I have to say it.
My favorite movie was, I think, a movie released in like 2022, was a movie called The Green Knight. It's a bit more highbrow, but it's a really philosophical movie, pretty much telling a tale of an Arthurian knight. But it's just the cinematography and way it's told is just really struck me deeply. If you're looking kind of more for like a good movie experience that that requires a bit of patience and a bit of just like, what do you think this means? Then I definitely recommend you check it out. Just check out the soundtrack alone because it's so eerie and inspiring and haunting. It's an interesting movie.
Sure. Yeah. This does look great.
Yeah, it's awesome. But it's not an action movie. I would describe it as kind of inner journey. It's more of a philosophical inner journey type of movie, so you don't know what's real and what's metaphor. And that's for you to decide as a viewer. Poetry.
Fascinating. Custom Scaper says, I am making a Heroscape Minecraft mod.
Ooh.
I don't know how you do it, but if I can walk around as Negok Saw mine shackling zombies, you let me know. You let me know. If I can have an army of creepers, that'd be great. If I can mine shackle anything, honestly.
Steve for Heroscape. That's what needs to happen.
I mean, look, I will say this time and time again. I'm sure people will hate me for it, and that's fine. But I see Heroscape as the board game equivalent to Fortnite. It could happen. We have Marvel and G.I. Joe. It's very weird. We have everything from robots to zombies to knights to futuristic army men to modern day stuff to realistic stuff to crabs holding a hammer. It's getting dumber, and I do love that. But I want something as dumb as the orcs from Warhammer. I want that type of dumb. If you guys are familiar with that lore there. So I'm looking for that. So Heroscape, like Steve or like a creeper or you like, oh my God, there is a creator out there, that was doing minis, and once again, one of my favorite creators out there, and I cannot think of the name of him right now, but I don't even know how to look that up. He was someone that was sharing a lot of stuff on Facebook. I know he did like a whole smash, like a Mario smash, like list of characters. He had Kirby and Mario and Luigi and Bowser and Metroid and Solid Snake. He had like the whole crew of figures. I mean, scale, Heroscape scale too. I don't know. At some point, I was trying to reach out to him at some point to do a video, but then I got lost with other projects. So, I'm telling you, I'd love to see it all. I'd rather see it as customs, to be honest, other than like official stuff. But either way, I'd love to see it. But yeah, Heroscape Minecraft mod, please at me for that one because would love to see that.
Is it hexes or squares?
Related.
That's the biggest question.
That's no, you can do hexes. I've seen people do hexes before. So if that's part of the project, I know there's a model ready that makes everything hexes instead of squares. So if that's the case, that makes it even better. But if we can add like the special abilities, like Raylan's aura, that could be a gadget, that could be a glyph or something, an item that you can pick up. I think the properties of that would be really endless. Adding more and more items to the game that are Heroscape powers or abilities. Like I said, Mind Shackle. I think eventually I'll have to talk to our lore master Jeremy and be like, how does Mind Shackle work? Do they just touch and just like force their energy onto somebody? Are they actually like putting like marrow goo down their throats and they turn into like Mind Shackle characters, or is it really just a necklace? I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, that would be a fun stream. We just hop on to Minecraft as Heroscape characters, and you watch me get lost and get progressively more upset at me. Last Minecraft server I was in, I was banned because I accidentally spawned in too many pigs. And every time
spawned in too many pigs, my God.
And every time someone opened it up, it would just crash, and they can no longer play.
Oh my God!
So I'm not too good at the Minecraft, but in a fun way.
Oh my God! Yeah. All right. Let me see what I have in this box of mine. Because I want to paint something soon. And I was thinking of using this time to like look at some of my figures that I do have unpainted. And obviously, I got all the AOA stuff, but I have such a backlog of other figures that I've gotten from Rogue or figures that I have in my collection that I've gotten from other people that are unpainted. Like, I would love to work on the Zelrig. That's absolutely an option. But I think it's a really good time for me to ask that question I was asking you before, Rogue, is highlights. Mm-hmm. I have figures with highlights on them. I did not apply these highlights. Rogue did. He, very politely provided me with some figures that have white highlights on them. And I want to be able to utilize that concept to its fullest potential. And I just don't understand if I have to do anything different, or am I just applying the paint and it does the magic for me?
Yeah, so to dive deep into that, what I gave you was models primed in what's called zenithal highlights. Pretty much the zenithal refers to the zenith of the sun, going straight down, putting the light on top of the model. Really it is I call it a light map. If you keep your paints thin, it does allow for you to use that, that white and that dark acting as highlights and shadows. But if you're using kind of standard acrylics, like in a manner like I use, it's not going to show through too much. But if you're using very thin paints like glazes or speed paints, it's going to make a big impact because you pretty much it's a method called undercoating, where you do a lot of your shade work and your highlight work before you even put like actual paint on the model. So I mainly use it just to let me know. I look at it visually and say, oh, this is where the light, I want some areas to be brighter. This is where I want more shadows to fall. It also helps too when you're painting the model. Like this underside is all black. So if I can't hit an area, it just looks like dark shadow. So it serves a lot of purposes. Like I'm trying to find a little bit here. See, like here, I kind of was keeping my paint thin. And so you see a little bit how it's a bit brighter than the surrounding areas. So if you wanted to paint it really fast, you just put some thin paint over that and you can call it done. It won't look as solid compared to other things, but if you have 100 guys to paint, as I find myself doing, it's a great time-saving device.
So even when you're using a thinner paint, are you still applying multiple layers on it as well, or are you just doing the one layer?
It's user's choice. So let me grab something here for you. So I have this To-marro hive right here. Let me grab a speed paint so you can see it, because speed paint is a very thin type of paint.
Okay.
If I can find a good green I want to use. So look, we got some Shamrock green. It's not the exact shade I want to use, but it's fine. And I'm going to get a little dry palette here so it doesn't flow where I don't want it to. Okay, so I'm just taking a good sized brush. And since speed paint is activated, pretty much it falls in the cracks and the crevices and ultimately makes the brighter areas appear brighter. If you put a bit of speed paint here, it'll be a bit different and look very clean compared to if it was just black or if it was just white, because there's a bit of shadow and shading that it falls into. So you notice how it kind of is settling there, and those whites, that white part is showing through.
Okay.
So
now, is that any different than just watering down your other paints and being like you're doing a wash?
So speed paint is to break that down, there are 3 components of a paint. There's flow aid, there is the acrylic medium, and there's the binder. All paint is just a mixture of those for the most part. So standard acrylics is kind of just a balance. It's mainly pigment with a little bit of binder, a bit of flow improver in the solution. But if I just add more flow improver, like water, it's not as stable per se, but I am able just to create that and make it very thin. Now this is a bit more of a glaze consistency because there's nothing holding it together. You would want to put a little bit of medium there, but see how it acts very similar to speed paints? It's just, it's flowing and settling. So all acrylics are essentially the same. The advantage of speed paints is that it's pre-formulated. So this will dry, and whenever you put paint on, it's going to look darker the first layer you put it on. But then when it dries, it's going to appear a lot brighter. So it's good to remember that paint brightens as it dries.
Gotcha. Okay, so there's a way more technical level to it, and it's not just, thin meaning you add water to it. It is significant. The chemical compounds inside of it is significantly different.
It kind of, maybe I over-explained it. Water just makes it more flowy, so it gives a different consistency. But for the best results, you would use something like a medium that can stabilize it. So I get this glaze and wash medium, and kind of mix this to a level I'm happy with and add a bit of water just so it flows. And you can always test on your hand. See how it has a bit of pullback there? So let's say...
Pullback.
So when I put it on my hand, notice how it kind of starts to pull back into itself? That's a good consistency for paint to be at. That's how you know your paints are at a good level. What effectively the medium does is, since the paints I'm using are so highly pigmented, it allows those pigments to kind of go and spread out farther. Using water is fine. It just doesn't have any properties in it as the same as paint. So here it's really, really thin, and ultimately it's just a bunch of different techniques you can have. Now, if I was really crazy, I can take this thin paint and I can pull in from the speed paint, and I'm creating blends now. Kind of mix them together, and now there's a subtle blend as we go from one color to the next. And this is all more just advanced stuff, so you can improve your general color. But I like using speed paints as a blending method. So we're keeping these paints thin, and we're using the natural highlights of the primer just to really make it pop more. I don't have, here, I have this Sujoa here. So this is a pure black. I typically like to work in pure black because you have control over all the colors. I'm gonna put just this here, and it doesn't even show up at all. You cannot see anything because there's no bright points for it to latch onto. You get a little bit of color, but when that dries, it's going to be very see-through. But let me show you the contrast. Welcome, Just Ken, by the way. I'm giving Joe some... I'm just rattling off to Joe at this point now, I think. But, so let's get some white going here.
Don't worry. We'll get back to the chat. I love listening to Rogue talk about his paint stuff, because it's like... He gets right into like the nitty gritty, like fun technical terms that make your brain just shut off, and it's like, and then you're like, I'm confused, but I'm also getting it too. Like, I always thought it was like you had your you do dry brushing, you did your wash, and you had your normal paints, and now I've been opened up to like multiple personalities, multiple possible options for like, I mean. Would you consider this just like a normal paint, or is this another style of
it's just a technique. Painting is all about having things in your toolbox. So you don't have to do this. But if you're looking to get, it's just knowing how to do it can greatly. So I'm adding a bit of white points onto this Sujoa here, just to really kind of contrast. So this is what, the paint's drying, and, it's not very visible. It's kind of blotchy. This is more of a method called Slapshot, which is kind of trying to simulate that zenithal I was doing. Slapshot is just where you use a dry brush to kind of cover the model. Slapshot's great because you can cover a lot more area. I use an airbrush, so I have a bit more control. If you're using like a spray rattle can, you're often missing whole parts of the model. Tails!
Hi,
Welcome,
Ryan.
Tails. Welcome back from the coldest place on Earth, Chile. Crazy Joe on the show. Yeah, it's a good night. What's good, Roguescaper fandom? Yeah, all right. So we got just speed paint here. So this is primarily, it's the ultra thin. So notice how I'm able to capture so much more detail and so much more of, but also notice how so the bright parts are very bright and the shadowy parts are a lot darker. And
so on the other side, when you apply that same paint, right, that was the same paint that you applied and that we couldn't see, right?
Correct. So this white plays a big part in the visibility of it. The brighter your undercoat is, the brighter the paint is underneath, because paint is transparent, or should be. So here, that's why you would apply multiple layers. If I put 20 layers of the speed paint on here, you would eventually start to see color. I don't got time for that, to paint 20 layers, because I gotta put this on, wait for it to dry, and then come back to it, put another layer on, and at that point, why not just do this? Why not let the white do the work for you, and you can get this done in a couple minutes.
But I'm sure somebody, would say, well, then why just spray paint your entire model white?
You can,
right?
but then you don't get the shadows. See here? And there's different methods of going on to it, but notice how some of these deep crevices have a bit of a darker tone. It feels a lot more flat if you use pure white. So it's not bad.
Right.
If you have a choice, if you're using like thin down paints, go pure white or go pure black. Of course, go pure white. But if you have the option to add a bit of subtleness to it, then go for that. Now, if we wanted to be really crazy, we could dry brush this again with a yellow and then put another layer of the speed paint down and create two-toned highlights. And it's really easy to make it look like you're a pro painter that way.
Oh my, okay.
Or you can take this speed paint while it's white and take a much darker tone, and you can just start adding your shadows in like this, if you want a little bit more volumetric highlights.
And you're just adding the same paint to the areas you want to be a little bit darker.
I'm taking the thing, I took the glazed medium, so that acrylic paint, the angel green, and I'm just kind of going...
A different paint that is not the speed paint.
Yeah, but if you do want it to be a bit darker, you can take the speed paint and just kind of go over that area again as well. So there's just a lot of options to have in your toolbox.
Oh, fascinating.
So that's what the white does, is really if you're using thin paints, it just makes it go by, and you can see just kind of the results here. If you really want some smooth highlights, you can use gray and then white. I always recommend dual tone dry brushing, and there's a lot of ways to experiment with that. Let's see here. Too freezing here. We pulled out dry as all. Yeah, it's a little too chilly here. You brought chili home with. It's a bad pun, and I'm going to stop. I'm sorry. You have fan art for you all. Let's see here. Just use speed paint markers are also really good. I do have some here I've been messing with. I like using speed paint markers for that blending I was talking about before. So I don't have, like I said, I get distracted and I'm fine with that. But yeah, speed paint markers are really good. If you dry brush this again with white, then you can have a lot more control over the marker. And I don't know what color this is. So I can kind of go here and I can start manually adding some shading as well. Like this. So you have a lot more control, it has less flow, which is not bad. So, because that's the biggest problem with speed paints, is it can sometimes flow a bit too much.
Yeah, I've been seeing the pens in the stores when I go to tournaments, and I'm like always so tempted, but I'm like, I don't know what to get. Like,
yeah.
I mean, even that comes with any of the paints anyway. Like, I'm always looking for cool oranges or blues because that's what my wife and I like. And I'm like, but I don't really need more paints. Yeah, it's not like I'm refilling any colors I've been using up. But like finding new colors, but I have no inspiration for what to look for, and it's like there's so many options. Like you guys, I'm sure you all can relate to that. But as for the pens, like, you know, would it be good to have like black on hand or white on hand or anything? Like, is there a color that you should get in a pen?
I don't know. I'm still messing around with the pens. I would use a color that you plan on using a lot. I find that they work better for, like, see here I added a little bit of blending. So I don't like, personally, I don't like using the pens just to base coat a model. I find it doesn't give enough coverage, because it doesn't come out
Sure.
as thick. But see how I kind of applied that layer and then I went over it and applied just some darker colors? That's more what you need to do. You can get like the starter set pretty decently, and it gives you some basic colors that you use pretty consistently. So if you're looking to try them out, you can also, no one wants to say this, but you can make your own speed paint pens. There's something called like watercolor pens that are essentially these, but you just fill them up with Army Painter Flow, the speed paint medium, and put it in there, and then just pretty much put the speed paint medium into this, and then get your speed paint, and then dip it in, and it actually works even better than the speed paint pens. But the metallics are S tier for the markers. Oh, I've never used the metallics, but the speed paint metallics as is are really nice. They have a very ink-like quality to them, so that's definitely something I'll have to try out. Cody's Cardboard says dry brushing colors after applying a layer of color is something I really need to practice. I just botch it when I try. Look into an artist on YouTube called Don Serratos, who does absolutely phenomenal work using purely speed paints and kind of that multi-layered blending method. I have pinned on my to-do list speed paint tutorial, because it's people are like to diss on speed paints a lot. I think it's a really useful tool to have. I use it a lot for blending, but you can do some really great, just fast base jobs as well. Get speed paint first, and maybe pens. So, did I explain that somewhat adequately for you? Do you have any questions?
No, I totally get most of that. I think what I'm trying to get at least for myself, or if because I think I do want to paint something small before I get to the big Zelrig, because Jill loves the dragons, and I do want to paint her a good Zelrig. I think I might have to invest in getting that medium you were showing us, just so I can play around with thinning out, appropriately thinning out without that drawback you were saying with the water.
Yeah, it gets a little blotchy depending on what paint you use. Paints are a lot better than they used to be, so it's not as big of an issue. If you use water, you're fine. But a medium design for the brand you use works 10 times better.
Sure.
You do love his videos. Okay, cool, great. He does great stuff. Makes me feel like I need to improve what I do every day.
Night, Ryan. I'll talk to you soon.
Night, Ryan.
I'm so happy he's back.
I am.
I'm so happy.
I miss that fool.
Because you know what? I was getting really jealous of every time he posted a picture of him like doing something really cool. I'm like, bro, are we serious right now? It's like Cody in that lake picture. I'm like, are we serious?
Yeah. Are we serious?
You're gonna get to be out there in like the beautiful skyline of the mountains and the forest and the trees, whatever, going playing soccer and stuff. I'm like eating all this great food, and I'm sitting here looking at snow. Are we serious?
Joe and I are instant to be launched into rage. It does not take us much. All it takes is for someone to have a better time than us, and we lose it.
Rage. It's passion.
Yeah.
See, the Star Wars fan base is very passionate. They're not angry.
Yeah, if you wanna eat an hour of your life, definitely just say, hey, I really like Episode 9. It's a great movie, and then
They Fly Now is my favorite dialogue.
I'm getting passionate as we talk now, just thinking about it.
See, doesn't that sound so much better when you say it? It's like, dude, I'm getting passionate right now. Ooh, I'm getting passionate.
Next time I play Krug, I'll just be like, man, he's getting a lot more passionate as he gets more wounds.
Yes. Oh my god, it's so funny. So the tournament that I went to was a winter classic, they call. So there were special powers. They always every single map was a snow map. And Vidar 43 one of the greatest gentlemen in the Heroscape community, 3D printed out these tokens for these bloodlust tokens. They're like snow or oh my god, I'm gonna botch this. They had a name for it, but it was essentially bloodlust. So every time that you would destroy a figure on a snow tile or snow hex, that your unique character would get a bloodlust token up to a max of 3, and this would add an extra attack die to your normal attacks. And then you could also throw snowballs. That any single base figure can throw a snowball. This is common, uniques, whatever. And then if you hit the figure with your snowball, then you can teleport your figure adjacent your hero or character adjacent to that other figure that you hit with a snowball. So essentially, Ender Pearls, which is super cool. But I took an army, pretty standard army for me, spiders and wyverns. So I took 3 squads of spiders because it was a rule of 9, so I could only take 9 of one type of common. So I took spiders, I took 2 wyverns, and then I brought. Usually I bring Rakshot and some of the beasts, and if Rogue, I'm sure you're familiar, is Rakshot's terrible.
Yeah, he's
one of the coolest models in this game, and he's terrible.
I call him Crapshot, so...
Oh, it kills me inside. But I did find a Dryan that I'm in love with, and that's Marashot. Marashot is awesome. Now you're probably thinking, Joe, did you win any of your games? Did you win the entire tournament? What are you building up to? And it's not what you think. But I did win one game. I did get smashed by the other armies. I mean, look, this is how I see it. If I can get you the time, I was able to hold my ground long enough. That's how I see that. If I am dying before the time runs out, like I did against the Eisenex, because that Eisenek army, Scathereth, Iron Lich, the ball guys, somebody in the chat help me out. And then yes, Wraith Riders and the Acolytes. Okay, 1 squad of Acolytes is all you need for that army, and that is it. And it absolutely wrecks. But anyway, with that said, I had Marashot, I had Chana, and Vrono as my beasts, my small beasts. And I will tell you that nobody could tell, not even me, because I just grabbed them out of the box, that I did not have Vrono in my army. I had the Vrono card. I did not have the Vrono figure. Can you guess which character I had?
Garushia?
It was Garushia,
yeah.
Nobody could tell until I got up against Vidar 43 with his Eisenex. And he looked over, it's like, I don't think that's Vrono. And I went, oh, no, my God, you're right. We had the longest laugh because I was like, I faced at that point, he was my 3rd game. Nobody else could tell. And he's like, it's even worse because he's got his Dryans unpainted. I'm like, how are you really going to know? Because I mean, mine are painted. That's more embarrassing. So, green opposed to red figures.
Are you colorblind?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel embarrassed because I put that army together, or I made the army at a separate date, but I put everything together the night before, and I guess I was very tired because I just took, oh cool, the figure with vines, put it in the box.
They're pretty similar. I go to every con I go to. I always have a match where I'm like, I forgot to bring this entire army, and I am played. This is a paperclip. Represents Subakna and
yeah. Yeah. So I that was crazy, but I'll tell you, it was a really fun event. It was good people out there.
Because I don't like playing with like unpainted figures, but I do hate not having the right model because I do feel like it does, because Heroscape is one of those rare games where the model does play a factor. Like, it's not the end of the world in most competitive maps if you have something similarly sized, but you do feel like, it just feels like, why do I have all these models if I can just substitute them for other models?
Yeah.
I paid good money for Vrono. I don't want to bring Garusha out of here.
No, for sure. For sure. But, look, I learned my lesson there. Alright, let's see. I'm going to start... I have a lot of these containers. I have these small containers that are, if you're familiar with Samjeon. Samjeon is a type of Korean soybean paste. I use it for dipping my baby carrots. It is very good with vegetables, even though it is specifically for meat. But anyway, they make great containers for small figures. So I'm going to start opening them up like they're grab bags, because I don't remember what I put in each one.
I'm going to paint my next figure entirely in Sanjan. Just... That's the paint I'll be. That's where you were going. I was like, I don't have paint, so I'm going to use some ketchup and some mayonnaise, and it'll do the job.
I mean, honestly, if Dysol ever watches this, I will say, please do condiment-styled paint jobs for figures. You know, somebody's a mustard, somebody's a ketchup, somebody's a buffalo sauce, one's a barbecue sauce themed. Like, go for it. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. Barbecue sauce is probably a really good color.
It is an interesting color, kind of a deep reddish brown. Cody says, Night to Tails, let the jealousy fuel you. Rakshot is so cool. Rakshot's one of those units where the disparity between just how cool the model is and how usable the model is fast. I'm hoping that new familiar that's coming out in the master set is going to help him out somehow, but I don't know. Rolly Bros, the Rolly Boys, as Hexhala often calls them. The Wraith Riders, it's a favorite team. I like the Eisenex a whole bunch. They're very thematic and they're very cool, but they just burn too fast for me. Like, after the first, second round, if you're not in a good position, they fall so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I love them.
For sure. I think it's important to, when you play with them, to, kind of hold them back a little bit. Like, you want to be able to rush and gain glyphs or get them engaged as fast as possible, but you don't. And this is what I noticed with a lot of commons that I play with that are really fast. Example, like the spiders, is yes, they can go really fast, but they don't need to go all 7 right out of the start zone. They just don't, because technically they could reach those glyphs in the middle of those maps, but not on the first turn. The second turn. So you want to prep that so you can get maybe on the 3rd order marker, since you're bonding with them most likely with other characters, either that's the Wyverns or even you're playing with VC, you're doing Quohan. Which they have not run any VC events in a long time, and I kind of miss it. I want to play Spiders and Quohan very badly. Because I know it's very meta and it's dope. But anyway, but you want to set it up so that eventually, because I actually was able to get a lot of rolls of their entangled web. I think it helped me out when I eventually got it, maybe twice that entire day. But I will say the chances, if it did work, I would have won at least 2 games, or I should say 2 more games. Fantastic. I love spiders. I think they're fantastic. Common. So glad I used those.
This part right here is why I hate these models. Because all the washes pool up, all the paint just gets kind of stuck here. It's easy to miss. This part right here is just the most miserable part. On all these kind of legs where it just goes deep down, it's so hard to differentiate. That's the part that keeps me awake at night right there.
I am loving the way that green is drying. Yeah. That looks awesome.
Because oftentimes you apply a paint and you just move on. But you gotta let it dry because the color will often fade. It'll either get darker or lighter depending on the brand you use. Typically, it gets a bit brighter than when it's first applied, and it doesn't become as solid. So you definitely want to kind of like what I'd like to do is, especially like a big model like this, is just work on different spots. And then once I see this, I'm like, okay, cool. I got some. I know what colors if it needs a different layer or some additional love in some spots here. But it's getting there. It's just these legs. That's really why I have you on tonight. Is these legs are tedious. What do you think is going to be your main from the new stuff being released this year? What unit do you foresee? Like, I'm playing this all the time.
Ooh, good question. I mean, now that I understand how the Eisenecks work and how that army is gonna like rock the world. I mean, essentially, essentially you bring the acolytes and you spend your entire first round killing them off, so that every round after that they are spawning next to the Iron Lich or Scathrith or whoever, most likely the Iron Lich, just to protect them from various incoming traffic, but also getting the rerolls for their attacks, but as well as being able to utilize Scathrith's double attack and then getting the extra turn on the X, and it's his life counter and his speed. It's like with like 5 to 7 figures, you can absolutely demolish an army of like 24 figures.
Yeah,
it's so easy. And I do hope that Renegade eventually keeps going with these high-powered heroes. I think heroes need to be more utilized in this super powerful structure. I love this, but don't get me wrong. I think we need our commons. But with that said, it's so much cheaper to get 3D prints of the older stuff to play a bunch of commons with those. I can't do the prices with the commons. I think the Score Dire commons that are coming out this, not March, but like April, I think it is, that they're coming out, I think are going to be an absolute game changer. I'm going to be so excited to seeing those played. I definitely want to find a way to get those. But honestly, I think after playing Marashot, I really like playing Marashot. I generally really liking the Dryans. I think it's just such an easy game mechanic. I do like characters that can bond. I enjoy that play style a little bit. I like you know what it is? I build armies, and I'm sure you would agree, armies that with a lot of like thematic, just very thematic armies. Like, could I take anything else with those spiders and wyverns? Yeah, I could take whatever the point value is. I could throw whatever in. It doesn't matter if they work with them or not, because Marashot didn't really work. But what was nice though with Marashot though, I was able to take extra turns with the wyverns to drag people over to Vrono, because I was able to get it to work. The rules aren't incredibly clear if I drag a wyvern over to Vrono, if it activates his thorns. They were letting me do it. So, I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, that was my idea from the get-go for me to try to do that, and it was working, and it was awesome.
That's a satisfying proc right there, if it happens.
Oh, yeah. It's, like, super, super cool. Yeah, James Bush wants the big Cthulhu boy to come out. Yeah, no, absolutely. My Cthulhu is my current Cthulhu boy is Zoth, the Mouth of the Abyss.
That one's really fun.
It's such a fun unit. Once again, for those in the chat that are not familiar with VC, please go look it up. There's such a, I mean, look, I love the Renegade stuff, don't get me wrong, but the VC stuff is just something that I want to see more of. I totally understand that people coming into this game are not going to know or even think about giving a hoot about it, but man, I want to play with VC so bad. I love the Nids. I love Zoth. I love the constructs. I love the cowboys and the lawmen. That make that army work is I miss playing that army. Some of the other To-marro, or not even. Oh my god, the walking refrigerators. Oh, Valkyra walking refrigerators. I cannot. They have flamethrower.
The Morrow, the Havocs.
No. Yeah, I do really love the Havoc Eradicators. But wait. No, yeah, Havoc Eradicators are the To-marro. No, I'm talking about yes, they also Valkyro, but it's the unique squad of 3 Soulborgs. They're like they literally look like small mini fridges that are like walking around shooting flamethrowers. I cannot think of their name. I hate that there's so many figures. There are so many characters in this game that it's like if I can pull any name out of my butt, it's like it's magic. It's just really magic. It's like, why do I know that?
That's the biggest problem I have with VC is like army building for it is just so many. If it's not like some kind of restricted format, like I appreciate this. Like I can be like I appreciate designs. I don't want to have to know every VC unit that exists because I'm like, oh cool, I'm playing this unit, and then the Vulcan mechs, yes. And then
Vulcamax,
and then someone
you, James,
shows up with Visceron the Blood Knight, and I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah. There are so many good metas out there that I'm just not aware of.
It's hard to because I like to go against the meta, but if you don't even know what the meta is, it is a little hard to army. I spend so much time building it, but the units are but then there's events where I want to play a unit. I love Major Q11. He's my boy. He's a fun unit. I like putting him in, but I always man, I wish I had Hoplotrons. I wish he he needs some Hoplotrons.
Yeah, he needs something like that. Yeah, for sure.
But then I also hate it when someone brings Cathar Spearmen. I'm like, ugh. Okay, Cathar Spearmen need to be banned. Throw them away. They are the worst. I've never had a good time playing against Cathar. It's just a bad day. I don't like the wolf. I respect the wolves. I don't like the wolves that much, like the Varkanins or whatever. But
do you not like playing them, or do you not rather not play against them?
I don't like playing against them. I especially don't like playing against them playing them in reverse the whip, where someone just hands all these things to you and says, "Have fun."
You don't know how to play them either.
I'm a little bit better. Yeah, but I also every time I'm looking at the army cards, I'm like, I like this. I like what's going on here, but it's just a little. It's just a little too twisty for me. And then, meanwhile. I get them all mixed up. So I'm like, oh wait, these guys have the 4 range and can kill me in one shot. And these guys can also kill me one shot differently. But they're really good. I don't think they're imbalanced. They're just I never remember what they do. So those are the 2 units I'm always I don't know. And also they just take up so much storage space in my boxes. I'm just where do I store all these giant wolves at?
For sure. I want a Sangren Raider unpainted, already on a base, and I don't know what to do with them.
You should make them red, bright red would be fun.
For
his Blood Frenzy.
Okay. For his Blood Frenzy, or I could just try to get him as close as possible and then splatter a bunch of blood on him as if he literally came in and out of Krug.
Just ate him from the inside.
He just jumped right through. Actually, you know what? What I love doing is doing some image searching for fish. Let's look for some cool red fish. See what kind of colors show up.
Oh, you could give them a clownfish theme too. Would be kind of fun.
Oh, I don't know what kind of fish this is. Arcadian. It's kind of it's red and white. So it's got this red top and then like a white belly. Pretty interesting. Does he have eyes?
For the
Not yet.
Thyraxis, I mixed a bit more yellow into the mix. It was just turning a little bit too more pale bone colored, so I mixed a bit more of that demonic yellow. I'm just kind of covering the surface area.
Solid. Yeah, I find your approach with the skins, I've never like really experimented with mixing, the flesh fish. I should do flesh fish. There you go. I actually understand that reference. Because if I look at my paints, you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you. The flesh fish.
I'm gonna open up my paint box here. I have some colors that are pretty good for the To-marro. I think they're pretty good. So for Army Painter, I have an Elven Flesh or the Barbarian Flesh. I like those, and then I'll use the Blood Paint, the Blood Wash for like the inner, colors, and that I seem to be pretty happy with them.
Yeah, I don't know if they officially make Elven Flesh anymore, because that's a pretty good color to use. The flesh fish. I find it so funny that
blood.
That Hexhala, that was the video that was featured, where the one where they just reference my bespoke flesh fish of. They didn't even bother to explain it. That was the funniest part to me. We're getting to a point where we're going to start doing what everyone wants to see is how I do the washes for these guys. We just want a solid underlayer here. I hate this lake so much. It just does not catch the paint. If I was doing this off stream, I would just airbrushed this and saved a lot of time, but I can also do it with a brush. An airbrush is a great tool if you're wanting to get scape done fast. I painted 20 Knights of Weston in 3 minutes.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're one color, so it's really nice. But a lot of Heroscape is kind of just like one solid color, so it's not too bad for most of them. But they're a hassle to clean. That's the only downside, is you really have to figure out how to work them. It's like a whole different tool. All right, so we're gonna let that sit for a second here. I was asked one time to paint the Scoredire guy on top as a To-marro. I didn't like that one as much. I like to keep him like his actual colors and race. I like the idea that they stole a giant nagrub and they ride that around. Like as a story, it's a lot more interesting to me.
No, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Yeah, because he's not a To-marro, right? Like that doesn't, like, once again, talk about thematics of giving your character story and ideas. Like, you want to be able to tell a story through your paints. My buddy Glenn does this perfectly. He was building an army of orcs, and the way he was constructing them, because in Warhammer you have to build your units, so he was constructing them in a manner that because he's also, Glenn loves Soulborgs, he loves robots, he loves characters with as much metal as possible. So instead of having a lot of the green being shown, he was building them in a manner so that they were covered in like scrap metal. and they were like taking all this armor plating off of like their vehicles and then just reshaping it around them. And every time they would like blow up or die, they would be replacing their parts with like other like robot parts. And everything was just like very like construction worker, scrap metal. So there was like these like light and dark grays for like silver metals, but then also that like hazard yellow and black tape all over the place, and warning labels. It's like one of those armies where like I keep telling him, like, dude, like you step away and look from a table and it's like this is a blob of gray. And then you look deeper and deeper in the details. I'm like, dude, like you added so much detail to this. It's insane. Like, bro. But like the whole idea of the army just being able to be like orcs that are like constructing themselves back together with more and more metal parts, where it's kind of like the ship of Theseus.
Yeah.
Like, when does the arc start and the arc end? Like, G Busy Cody, how's it going, bud? Zed's blimp as a Morrow or a bust.
Not enough recesses in that guy.
Yeah. Ew, interesting. If we could do more kit bashing with Heroscape, I think I would love to see more stuff like that. Just make anything Morrow at that point.
Yeah.
Just
a
finding
giant
ways to kit
flesh
bash.
balloon. I don't like that one.
Oh, yes. Yes. Once again, a flying thing that I would love to see. Honestly, if that'd be one way. If Lee could find a way to bring Morrow back in such a manner, I shouldn't say Morrow. If they want to bring back a character, but it's like Sergeant Drake's Morrow clone.
Yeah. Oh, that would be fun.
Like,
we could call him Alexander Drake.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There you go. So it's like, do something different like that would be really, really fun.
James
says, go ahead. You read it.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. It says, all painters, in your opinion, what's the easiest Heroscape figure to paint for a newbie?
I'd say EJ1M. It's very satisfying to paint. Nice, wide, large areas. Most of it's metallics. And very easy, simple colors. You can paint EJ1M and make them look really nice in like an hour or less.
Yeah, he's a dope figure. I would love to paint him. I do have an unboxed, unpainted master set, which I actually got to crack open this weekend. I need the walls out of it. And, yeah, he'd be good. I don't know. I mean, even from my experience, my first ever figure that I painted wasn't even a Heroscape figure, but it was the NGC giant bug.
Yeah.
What was that called?
The big one?
Yeah. That
the Takala Titan?
Yes, the Takala Titan. Oh, I love that unit. I think he was so much fun to paint.
Yeah, he's a fun one.
I still think probably the unit I think came out the best. I took so much bug inspiration, like beetle inspiration for mine. And I just really love how he came out. So I don't know. I'm biased in that sense to paint my very first figure. I chose that giant beast. Took forever to do, but it was an absolute pleasure to do.
Okay, and if you want to take the base off the Dragoon, you just
how'd you do that so seamlessly?
Yeah, you just put some pressure on the side. This is a rare one that's not molded together, so this is actually a two-piece model. So if you just kind of bend the sides a bit, I mean, you do this at your own risk. I'm not responsible for anything that happens, but I've done 13 of these, and you just kind of bend it back and forth, and it pops out, and it glues really well back in. So all this right here, I can get now.
I love how you like waited for a special moment to do that, and you just didn't start with that.
Well, I didn't want to, because it has so many points, I'm going to like hold it the whole time. I'm just going to rub off all the paint. So I wanted to...
Oh, that's true. Okay. All right. That's strategically, yeah. That makes sense.
I was going to wait until the paint dried, and now I can hit these undersides before I start doing the fun wash. Also, I'm going to do something with the base, so I was going to take it apart anyways.
Sure.
You don't have to do this, because odds are you're not going to see it, but if you are, a little particular, it's a great way to get underneath there without having to break out the X-Acto knife and all that stuff.
Wolf Demon Wizard says, honestly, one of the best minis to start with is Kita the Spring Runner from the Battle Box. Yeah, I would 100% agree. I've not painted her yet, but I think just a simple, fun model that is it's like, oh, it's a dog, wolf thing, cool. Brown, awesome. If you're doing the accurate, colors that Renegade has put out. But yeah, I mean, I would love to paint her a different like wolf color shape, color shade. Would be dope.
I didn't pick Kita one because I think if I'm painting a model for the first time, I wanted to be able to say, hey, look how big and cool and awesome this thing is. And if something's kind of smaller and an unimpressive sculpt, it's like, cool, I did this. I spent an hour, because if it's your first time, you're gonna spend like an hour on Kita. And you're going to be like, oh, it's just a little dog. I think it is an easy model. I want to dismiss what you say. But I like to choose something a little bit bigger and more like, hey, look at this. Also, I knock Kita down a little bit just because of the face mask. You can choose to ignore it, which is what I recommend. But if you're like really particular about matching things, then it could be a little frustrating because the mask is hard to paint in the face because it's so small. Honestly, a lot of the stuff in the master set isn't great for a new painter. I think the sculptor didn't get the memo that, hey, this is a community of people that hasn't historically painted. Like, asking them to paint some of these models is a little crazy.
Custom Scaper says, Joe, have you ever heard of Beetleborg? And the only reason I know it's Beetleborg because I looked up Beetleborg and nothing came up. So this looks super familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen this before. It literally looks like Power Rangers, which is dope enough. What is this? Oh my god. Okay, so I'm on like an eBay post. They're showing like a DVD. On the front, you got these three main like Beetle characters. They're like, one's like a turquoise, one's a blue, and a red. And on the back of it, there's a character that has this enormous chin, this extended out nose. It's almost like Pinocchio, and his entire face is white with the darkest, thickest eyebrows. And he looks like the Joker because he's wearing like a purple like cloak of some sort with like the puffy shirt from Seinfeld but gold. I don't know what's going on. I am truly shocked. I need to find clips of this show just so I can see what this character is all about. G Busy says, Joe, have you been doing any painting recently? Also, speaking of separating figures, Rogue, did you separate Zed and the carriage from the blimp part? I assume you cut the ropes.
Yeah, you can just cut the... Well, I discovered that they're breakable because I dropped it on the ground and it just snapped off. These all have little... But then I did some research into it. They have some connection points here. Actually, you don't necessarily... Like, I would recommend just getting an X-Acto knife and just cutting very carefully. But if you are willing to risk bending it a bit, you might even be able to force them out. But you don't want to break the model itself. But, yep, just pop it sideways, just boop, and it pops right out. Because these aren't...
You can watch all of Beetleborg on YouTube, by the way.
Because these aren't glued together, and so you just... I leaned it right a bit while holding it, and just popped right out. And then that way you still have the connection points. Geez. And, like, you can just pop it right back in. I would glue it afterwards, but that way the connection is really clean and secure. Which is how this thing should have been, just storage-wise.
You know, looking at that model from a top-down view, if a figure was tall enough, which I don't think at this point many figures are tall enough as the blimp, looking down, I assume that, for example, let's say Zenithrax, right? Just as an example, Zenithrax would block. I'm sure the blimp Zed Nesbit would block the vision of Zenithrax from any smaller units underneath the wings of the blimp.
Yeah. It's a wacky design.
I need more figures to do that, but at a vertical level, or I should say a horizontal level, I guess. Then, where it's like, I imagine like some kind of figure where it's like almost like a giant, like imagine Krug, right? Imagine a new Krug, right? And instead of him holding a giant axe, he's holding a big shield, right? And it extends off the sides so that you can have like orcs or I guess the archers, because they would the Gruts archers would bond with him because he's a beast. And they kind of walk up the side of him. So anything directly in front of Krug could not physically see. They'd have to go around on the sides to shoot him. And his shield, like, you could shoot him, but you couldn't shoot anything behind the shield.
Now that's an interesting take, because a lot of people talk about Stinger denial. They don't like how like figures can block someone from getting to a space, but a figure designed intentionally as a sculpt to block figures behind it, I find that like, because Heroscape is a weird game because it's like the physical sculpt of the units actually matter, but that's not a mechanic that's been like touched on, except for maybe Zenithrax, until everyone complained about her scales not letting people get in. Like I feel like Zenithrax only works if you can't, like, if you take her Stinger denial as part of her design.
Yeah. That's, if you can't fit the model with the tails, no, you can't go there.
Yeah.
If you can fit a crab or a spider there, do it. Go ahead. But the whole idea is like you take her for her tail, and you take her for the thorns, right? You're blocking so much spots, and I think that'd be awesome.
But people say it's bad sportsmanship. But when the Zenithrax first came out, I played her in such a way where I was trying to stop people from getting to me because it seemed intentional to the design. Because it's so hard for her to get anywhere.
Bad sportsmanship. Like, what? Then what am I supposed to not use that model then? Like, look, it's a different story because the bushes, right? The old style bushes, or even the new bushes, right? Not really so much, but the older bushes, right? They have all that foliage flying off the sides, and it could, it was always pushing the figures off of stuff or whatever. I mean, look, even Maladrix, right? Maladrix can't fit almost anywhere on a map half the time. Because of how her base is with the things like that. I almost feel like they did that intentionally so you couldn't put her anywhere, which is so unfortunate because she's the one that needs to be up and close in the battle in order to and put her eggs down your throat, and do all that madness. Yeah. So it's like
I've lost like Gen Con tournament games because of placement with Maladrix. Like it's Like I almost never see her played. I think for that exact reason, where she's just too much of a pain in the butt to play because of her model being so frustrating. I think Zenithrax is, a good middle ground. I love Zenithrax. I think the wings are annoying, but other than the wings, because that was the one thing I loved in the teaser trailer, how big they were. But like being able to like move around the board and block people because of my positioning and they can't get close to me, it's almost like a visual representation of that wind power that the elementals have. Yeah. Like you're saying that's not game breaking, but because of the tail and it being an actual physical thing you can see, that doesn't make any sense. But no, the wind stops you. But I know what they're saying too, because at least with the wind, it's like you could eventually, I think, get in there or not. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember. I don't play with the elementals in a while. I think eventually you can walk up adjacent to them. I think that's how that might work. You have to stop within 2. Yeah.
But I think
It pretty
once
much
you do
works
that,
like
you have
water.
to...
You can only move one space at a time through it.
Right, yeah. So you essentially have to kind of kite people with that. So I guess you really can't do that with Zenithrax. It's like, you can't go there. That's it, done. But you could still find a way to get around. But I know it's a big debate. I think eventually I'll write it down on my post-it notes, add it to the list, talking about units that, block spaces on a map, and some ideas I would like to postpone. Like I said with Krug. It doesn't have to be Krug, but like a unit that has this giant shield, block stuff, and literally covers, like a walking, imagine just a walking cave of some sort. you know, um,
My hot take is Stinger
But-
denial should be legal and encouraged. And no, that's
Yep.
my spiciest Heroscape hot take, I think.
There you go. Banger. Yeah, and G, busy to answer your other question. Have I been painting anything? No, I've not been painting anything. So I finally got my first video out last weekend. Super happy about that. I'm back to doing content creation. I got tons and tons of ideas. I'm working on my next 2 videos, which will most likely be update videos. I know, real boring, but it's kind of I have to set some kind of groundwork now for the future. Obviously some update stuff with a lot of my life stuff. Probably do like a how's it Joeing for that, and then I'll do a what's Joeing on, where I talk about my content, what are my goals for 2026. What am I trying to intend to do with my time for this year? So I'm working on outlines for both those videos. Just so I personally feel I need to have a specific order when making content. I need to tell a story through all of the videos I'm making. Because it is my time that I'm spending on these videos, and I want to be able to, tell a story through either putting them through playlists as specific things, if for like EscapeCon content, if I'm doing the custom terrain stuff that I'll be doing this year, or even like Heroscape Adventure stuff should be in a playlist. But other than that, it's like just gonna be laying the groundwork. That's what February is going to be out. I'm probably trying to get both those videos out this month. But no, I have not been painting anything. So that's kind of what I'm using tonight for, too. Other than talk to one of my favorite people to talk to in the Heroscape community. Is I'm going through some of my big box of stuff, of unpainted stuff. Either Heroscape related or not Heroscape related. I got a lot of custom stuff, or even I have some Warhammer stuff that I was gifted that I want to paint. And seeing what I want to work on next. And I think I know Zelrig is my main thing, because my wife Jill, loves dragons. I want to paint a really good job with that. So I was asking bro for a lot of tips with how to utilize highlights on a figure, and so I think I have a better direction and feel a little bit more confident with doing that, especially with getting possibly I'll see if Army Painter has it. You said it's recommended to maybe look at the paint brand that you get to see what kind of medium that they have, so I can mix that with stuff to make things a little bit not flow. What was the word they were using? Thinner.
Thinner, yeah.
But I think in the meantime, to do something a little bit smaller, just to get my brain into the rhythm of painting again, I was looking for something like that, and I was part of me I should do this. But once again, also feels like a bigger project, even though he's really small. Is not Kuthnak. What is the main? Ryan's gonna kick me. The main villain from his show.
Kurok.
Kurok, yes, the Elementalist. I've been wanting to run a Firestorm for a very long time. I have the mod. I don't know. What does everyone think? How many fire do you need for a good Firestorm?
As much as you can get.
Understood. Let me see. Let me see how many I have. I think I have more than 5. I'll say that. I think I have more than 5. Here's the other one. I really wanted to get done because I do enjoy this character. Yeah, we were thinking about doing a video about him too. We should definitely still do that at some point. Um, oh my god, why can't I think of his name? The one-eyed guy.
Torin?
What is it?
Torin? Oh, wait, no, the other one-eyed guy. Girioni.
Girioni, yeah. He's such a cool model. I like him.
He's not
So,
good on the
definitely
battlefield,
putting him
but
on.
he's so cool.
No. Yo, but he's so cool though. So he's on my list for this year. I want to get him done. I have a card for him already. I have a card for Zelrig. I got Kurok's card.
What you should do, Joe, is just paint one of those models right now at the front of the year, and then at the end of the year, I'll send you another one. I'll send you whatever one you want, and repaint it with things you've learned and compare and contrast. That's a great way to measure your metrics as a painter, like see things you improve. I keep the model I first painted close by, or did until I moved things around, just so I can always say, oh yeah, I'm improving at this. I've learned new things.
Keep that in mind. I like that idea.
Alright, there's just so many tiny little... I'm doing touch-ups now with this Angel Green. We haven't even got the highlights. We're just base coating this guy. It's just tedious. But we're getting very close to doing some very fun stuff. It's just... The way Marrows work, you want a very solid base coat before you start adding other washes, because you want it to be pretty consistent across the board. Those little spikes are a nightmare to paint around. Actually, you know what? You can just paint them the same color. It's actually probably better just to do that. I'm going to do that. That way it's just a nice solid color when the wash settles in. Welcome, welcome in reverse, James. Goodbye. You have a good night.
Oh, James headed out.
Yeah.
Later, bud.
He's bushed.
He's bushed. I like that.
Okay. I'm thinking of having a new segment on my channel that I really want to start doing more on a weekly basis, because I get asked a lot of questions, like frequently, and I put it like I do. It's not like I'm trying to ignore people. It's just like I put it in a pile. Like, okay, that's a thing I'll address when I have time, and it's to the point where I'm just gonna like take that pile of questions and spin a wheel with all like the numbers of them on, and just once a week I'll just quickly answer that question, make a quick video about it, like a quick little edit video. That, because sometimes I get overwhelmed by all the stuff I want to cover and help people with, that, you know, it's just it's just tough. So it's just like, oh, what do Zenith's all highlights do? Let me make a quick 5-minute video for you to answer that question. Or what's your, you know, like it could be pretty much any Heroscape or painting thing, and I just make a quick video answering it. Just a question bag type of format is what I'm looking to do.
Yeah. I think that would be, I mean, one that I think that's pretty easy to put together. You're not writing a script for that one. You're definitely just answering right off the bat because you're already so knowledgeable about your craft. So you don't really have to like do any research. You know, you should be able to answer things kind of off the tongue. So even if you said, all right, I'm going to answer 3 questions today, I'm taking things out of her back, or you can even plan those questions.
Yeah.
You can say, hey, you guys sent me your questions on the Discord. I'm picking 3 out today, and these are the questions. You know, it's like, coming from James Bush, we have, you know, this question, and he asks this, you know, and then it's like, you answer the question. It's such a great format. I think I watched some Rainbow Six Siege content that they do that, and it's very interesting to listen to. So I highly support that one. It's a great idea.
Because I'm feeling it, because I just want to, because really I do this channel to help people. Like, I'm not getting paid for it. I'm not really getting, on a monetary basis. I do this to help fellow scapers out. Like, that's why I really enjoy running it. It's just been fun just to have people come up to me. I was at SASCON and people just kept on like, man, I love Nick Elder, the world champion. Came up to me and he's like, man, you're the only Heroscape videos I like to watch. And people were saying, someone asked me like, hey, I want a $50 gift card. Can you help me buy paints? Like, I enjoy doing that kind of stuff. Like, I like helping people. Yeah,
that's awesome.
And so I want to kind of focus on that a bit more because I just get kind of lost because I'm like,
sure.
Because also I make the channel, there's two parts. I make it for me and I make it for other people. So sometimes I just do things that are just for me. Like the things I do for me are my concept pitch videos just because I really enjoy making them. That's it's fun to write the scripts and I usually try to like have I like the idea that it's supposed to be a low effort video and I try to make them as the most high effort videos out there. Because it could just be, these are 10 things I want to see in Scape and just talk about the list there. But I usually try to hire an artist or do a lot of like, I just have fun doing it. It's like more my personal style. But they do take a long time. Hoisted by my own petard.
No, for sure, absolutely. No, that's awesome. Yeah, talk about SASCON. I definitely at some point I told my wife at some point when I'm back to able to go to these cons, I want to go to Hexacon, I want to go to SASCON, I want to go back to ScapeCon. I want to be able to show my support to every single con I can. And meet new scapers and show my support for this community. And so yeah, I mean, it was a 3-day event, a 4-day event.
It was from Friday to Monday, so 4 days I think that comes out to, but not like full days.
Okay.
SESCO was really fun. Trivia night and Major Q23, I believe, both run it, and they do a really good job. It's a lot different than ScapeCon. If you've only like ever been or heard about ScapeCon, I like that it's not as like intensive as ScapeCon in terms of all you're doing for 5 days is scape. Like there's North Carolina has a pretty cool scene. There's a lot more time for like going to places and hanging out after the events are done because everyone has to leave because the game store closes. So you have to find kind of something.
Right? Yeah. It's at a game store. It's not like it's at a hotel or anything. Yeah.
But I will say that SASCON has probably the most highest concentration of best players like out there. Like I fought against Heroscape. There was Chris Perkins there was Mike. There was just like Nick Elder. Like all the real like
Nico's good. Yeah.
Yeah, you're getting stomped like pretty. Like you have to go expect. People are there, and they're not just going to be playing goofy armies. They're there to win whatever is possible. Which I realized my first day where I guess I went 4-1, but that one was a bye. As I was like, oh, this army seems kind of fun. I don't think it's the strongest, but I'll just play it. And then I was like, oh, no.
First of all, you didn't go 4-1. You went 1-4.
Oh yes, that's how it goes.
I was like, wow, you did really good.
1-4.
And then you said the body thing, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right.
1-4. Let the history read.
No, I don't count buys either. I mean, please tell us in the chat if you ever count a buy as a win. It doesn't feel satisfying.
I hate buys. I flew all the way in from Kansas to North Carolina. I'm like, man, I'm just sitting around. I got 3 buys the course of the con. So I just walked over to the game store and spent too much money on paints and just like, fine, I'm painting here because I can win at something.
What you got to do is when you get a buy, okay, you go one like I do. I go around and take pictures, but also you look at the other armies and see what your other competition is, and you try to understand how those armies are being utilized, and seeing how people are using those armies, even if armies you've never seen before or played. We were talking about the Eisenex earlier. Like, I've seen the Eisenex played. I played against the Eisenex enough. I have not played this army yet, but I feel like I know enough to play that army properly. Once again, I think the Wraith Riders are still a little bit harder to figure out, like, to get them to work properly for me. But, like, I get and understand how that army works, and I'm just terrified of it. But being able to look at other armies, either if it is Phantom Knights, if it is, the Knights of Weston, if it's a full Grut army, like, if you don't know how those armies work, that is getting a buy is a great way to just be like, I'm gonna watch this game.
Yeah.
See what they do. How do these powers interact with each other? What works and what doesn't work?
See, at least for the first one, the problem, I did do that for a bit, but the problem was that it was a Valkyrie trial. So it's like, oh, cool, I know how Fourth Mass and Stingers work. Like, that's, there wasn't a lot of diversity. So I forgot how serious a Valkyrie trial was. But I picked up towards the middle of the week. My favorite event from SaskCon was their 7 mat, which is there's 7 formats, and you have to bring an army that can randomly, pretty much you kind of bid down what format exists, and then you randomly decide out of the 3 remaining, and you have to bring an army that is kind of good into all those formats. So that was really fun. I actually missed the first round because work called me in, so I had to just kind of abstain from the first round, get that as a loss. And but I did pretty decent on that one. I still kick myself because it was a one where I would have won the game, but I psyched myself out. I had the +8 initiative, and it was capture the flag, and I was right next to their flag. But then I did like this weird, I moved my order markers around in a way where I was like, oh, maybe this will help me out. But I was like, why didn't I just move to the flag? Why didn't I just like go take the flag and win the game? Because I psyched myself out. Because I was like, oh, what if I lose initiative? But then I realized, oh, wait, if I lose initiative, I lose the game regardless. So then it was, yeah. So I was like, I was about, because I had Tanukis and Cyprin for capture the flag. Like, you can't get much better than that.
Oh no, that's awesome.
And I should have won it. I was doing good, but other than that, I did pretty good in that one. The really fun format was a team event, and I had pretty good success with our team there. I was with Spartan, and we did this weird build that I was loot shot, and I just had nothing but swags on my side, and he ran the Aerogruts and Mimring. So it was actually like a team. So I could bring 2 swags up to his Aerogruts, and he just can attack with the dragon. And it was really fun. I think we went 2-0. Yeah, we went 2-2 in that one, which is pretty good. I was happy with that. We almost went 3-1 in that one, but we made some mistakes.
And
And
so go back to the event. You said there were 7 different formats.
yeah, so there's heat of the battle. So you have to just randomly, you put your figures all over the map, no start zones. I don't think there was one where you just get to have Rygarn in your army for free.
That's a good. I played that. That's a good one. I like
that's a fun one.
Yeah.
Being able just to switch into Cyprin is really fun. So I had a good army into that one. I like where you have to think critically into some armies. So there was that one. There was just standard, kill them all. There was capture the flag. There was, those are the ones I played, I think. There was Fog of War. Oh, I played a terrible match on Fog of War because they had Granite Guardians and a map with 4 height spots. That was because I could outrange them, but not with Fog of War. So I was just like, because Tanukis, I had Tanukis. I was like, oh, cool, I can outrange them. Then I was like, oh, wait, no. So that one was just a massacre. That's the one where you're in like end, you're like, oh, I have 40 minutes left. What else was there? There was In the battle after the flag. I can pull
But
it
the
up.
point value, you still had to build one army.
You had one army
with one
for
point value.
all the formats. Yeah, you didn't get to switch armies.
Okay.
So that was
Interesting.
really fun. That was the highlight. That was like their premiere event.
And then how did you decide? Did you just have a discussion beforehand, or did you roll the die to determine?
So it was a bit of both. So you use So you roll the d20. Whoever gets to go first gets to pick one, gets to knock off one, and then the next person gets to knock off two. Then they get to knock off another one, and then you roll a dice like from the remaining three. So you don't get to decide which one's played, but you can kind of eliminate like. I always eliminated kill them all.
It's like a ban phase. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I was like, I'm not doing the 7 mat and doing killing them all.
I like
that. So it was a really fun format. And welcome, Bill, to chat. I'm sorry I'm monologuing here, but it's great to have you.
Oh, hey, Bill.
Painting Thyraxis today. So yeah, that was a really fun one. And then Monster Mash is probably one of my favorite formats, which I did really good in Monster Mash. I made it to like the I forget the term is, but pretty much you play off to see if you enter the finals. And I lost to Sir Heroscape because he brought like 7 squads of Templar, which my
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
And I had nagrubs, Torkulna, Thyraxis, and Warden. So I had no answer to any of his things because Thyraxis can't move order markers because it's all Templar, and then Torkulna can't stop because it's all Templar. So I just had no. And meanwhile, they're rolling +1, +3 attack against me, but I held out pretty well on that one, even regardless. But I think I got them down to
awesome.
like 3 squads of Templar, 4 squads. So it should have been a massacre, and I felt like it was a bit more even at the end. So I didn't even feel bad about the loss, but also it was good I lost because I had to catch a plane. So I was like, cool, I lost. I can not because I had to drive an hour to the plane, and I literally like got to the airport like with 10 minutes remaining before my rental car was due. So I was like, you know what? I'm happy I lost that one. I will say I prefer the hotel cons more personally. It's nice to have everyone under the same roof for a week. Yeah, it was also nice to go out and just go home and get some like fresh air for a little bit. Like at ScapeCon, I'm like, it's been 4 days. I don't think I've seen the sunshine. But
plus
I
that dry Indiana air is like kind of killer.
But no, ScapeCon's really nice because you're just there. I like ScapeCon a lot, but I realized I can't do the night events as well as all the other events of the day just because it burnt, as well as playing other board games till like 4 in the morning because I'm just like dead the entire time and I play so sloppy. So when I go to ScapeCon from now on, I just don't do the night events anymore.
Yeah, and that's why I like the idea of having a 6th day. Because I was telling the crew at the Mars crew, like, it's so nice because now I don't feel pressured, or at least other people don't feel pressured to play every single event. Because there's no way. There's no way. I mean, the first con, the ScapeCon 2 was the first con that I went to, and it's so much. Like, you get a headache. It's it's one game after the next, after the next, after the next, and it's like, for me, it's like I try to hold on to my game long enough for me to like, you know, beat you if I can beat you by points. It usually goes the time. That's not my goal. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to get you the time, but like usually it does because I'm holding you out so much. I'm getting these games as close as possible. I just can't get that hurdle to like just to defeat you. It's like so close and then I lose. But yeah, like if having that extra day, it's like okay, I can definitely take. You know what? I'll take the morning off. I'll play these 2 events. I mean, once again, it all depends on where those events are and which ones you want to play and not play. I'm not a huge fan of the objectives yet, only because I'm not used to just winning the normal games. So why try the special events? But also it's like getting allowing yourself time to breathe, enjoy yourself, and hopefully have other more casual events.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed them having a lightweight event during the like mainstay like tournament where it's like this was for ScapeCon 2. So it was like you either go play Reverse the Whip, hardcore games, which I think I did 2 games, and then I was like, all right, I'm dropping out. I'm gonna go play lightweight. And then, which was so awesome because I already had an army already pre-prepped, knowing that I was probably gonna do that anyway. And it was just like, I don't know, like 200 points or something. Go play on a map, super small, super just super casual. But yeah, those things are really cool. I enjoy. And once again, it's like, yeah, things feel sweaty because of the type of armies. Like you were saying about the monster events or Heroscape taking Templar. I'm like, it's called the Monster Mash.
Yeah. The problem is they
Horses
didn't
aren't
have
monsters.
a figure limit. It should have been like 10 figures, but there was no figure limit.
Yeah,
so.
that too. Yeah. But what if they made an event? What if there was enough event where it's like you could only take these species of figures, or have at least.
They did that last year at ScapeCon. They did a Lord of the Rings event, so you had to choose like orcs, elves, like a couple of different humans. So that was a fun one. So you could build an army, but you had to have like
cool one.
200 points of elves. ScapeCon's getting a lot better at diversifying like events and also adding side events lately. I'll be teaching. I'll do like a paint and take this year at ScapeCon. Hopefully, is my plan.
Nice.
And I taught a master class the year before that. But I didn't want to do that this year because it was a lot of work.
Yeah.
What the average travel times people that attend cons? Anywhere from an hour to some people fly in from France. So at least for ScapeCon.
Yo, he goes crazy for that.
Yeah, so it's people from like ScapeCon is kind of like the mecca that every like passionate Heroscaper should go to at least once, just because it will change your outlook on how you play and how you interact with the game, and so I definitely strongly encourage it. Yeah, Cody's Cardboard, definitely try to make it out one day. It's definitely tough. When I lived out in California, it was tough to make these Midwestern ones a bit more just because of the travel. Yeah, it is nice, the ability to roll out of bed into a game or being able to go to your room for a nap whenever. Or Roshi, just where you sleep everywhere. Yeah. No, I'm not here to hate on ScapeCon, but it's like I don't want everything to be ScapeCon. I liked SaskCon just because it felt like a very well organized and well structured like tournament. That local tournament, which is what I like sometimes. I liked going back to the Airbnb and just breathing for a bit, going to my room and working on stuff or playing some Star Wars deck building games with Tommy and or Mega Silver and I like the little bit of the social aspect, but I also just like it's tough when you have to get kicked out of a place at like 9:30 and you have to I guess I have to go find something to do. So.
Sleep would be the sleep is the option there. That's
that was a good thing. I did just end up getting more sleep at SesCon because you're at ScapeCon you're I don't need to sleep because people were playing cribbage to 2 a.m. and I want to jump on. Yeah, I don't have anyone to play a lot of games with, so that's just the boat.
You don't want to go to bed.
That's my weakness at ScapeCon is I play the events all day, but then I don't go to bed at a reasonable time. I'm up to 3 a.m. playing as many other games as I can because I don't get that here at my house.
Yeah.
Played an every time slot at first ScapeCon ever again. Yeah, one time slot, you can't do them all. You get really sloppy and you get really tired and you get to a point where you start to I don't even like this game anymore. And that's never a good spot to be in. 3 Codys?
First of all, if you're getting that thought, that maybe Heroscape's not your game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're losing all day for 8 hours, it can be bad for morale. It's good just to.
I went 2-24 at ScapeCon 2.
That's true.
I got on the bus to go back to the airplane, and I told my buddy Glenn and Michaela, I said, look, I don't know about you guys, but when we get back home, I want to go play Heroscape.
Yeah, that's.
I
agree.
That's when I knew. I was look, I just played 5 days of Heroscape. I played as many events as I can. and I lost so much, but I gained so much more. I gained friendships, I gained alliances, I gained a community that day.
Yeah.
And I felt so strong as a person because of it. And it was like I will never get that feeling, and I want to be able to find a way to like express my thanks to this community for providing that feeling for me. It's like I don't know. I need to figure out a way to thank these people.
So you're an extrovert though. So as an introvert, I am like, I love these people. I love
Stay
this
away!
game.
Get
but
away!
I am going to go into my dark garage, and you shan't hear from me for a while.
Yeah.
But not like any negative things. It's just like my social battery is expended. My wife, Amanda Camera, says there's not a lot of good two-player games. Yeah, we go through them. We played Abduction the other day, which is pretty fun. If you haven't played it, it's a good game. It's got cute little ducks, so you can't go wrong with that. Yeah, we have quite a collection. It's just we don't always have the energy to play two-player games, and also three-player games are better because we just end up fighting each other. Like, because I play dirty.
You know what game I like?
What game do you like?
Blocus.
Blockus? Yeah.
You say Blockus?
I guess it's Blocus, but I call it Blockus because you put blocks down.
You know what? I guess everything now is just, is it Negaxa or is it Negaxa? I don't know if it's, oh my god, I'm getting flashbacks of the Hexala video with all the pronunciations. Ugh.
Cody's Cardboard, not G Busy, says, I found people expect me to be knowledgeable of all things Heroscape and good at it. That does not happen to be the case. I would say I'm very knowledgeable about Heroscape. I'm just not very good at it. I
don't know how people can just like look. I don't know how many times. Put a count on the screen. I don't know. I can't remember everything. There is over 500 figures, hands down. I don't know how many cards. I have 2 binders now of army cards. I don't even have everything yet. And plus you got to remember the base sets. People remember the sets they came in. Like, God bless you. Like, what are you like? That's crazy. The map. You have to think about all the map making. I mean, I was talking to Shurig the other day. I wound up driving him home from an event, and I was talking to him, and he was like, we were talking about map making and stuff, and he was like talking about all the acronyms for all the master sets and expansions for terrain. And I'm like, bro, that's crazy that you know that stuff. I mean, once again, he's kind of a master at his craft. He plays with that stuff all the time, so I expect him to know that. You know, same with you, Rogue. It's like you know so much about paints. I expect you to know about paints, but like. You know, Cody, like, once again, like, that's actually a really good, interesting thing to point out. Like, if you go into this community and people, you're making content for the game, you must know everything, right? No. I was at another side tangent story. I went to an event once. I went to dinner with some of the guys afterwards, and we had get into discussion about, my channel, and somebody had mentioned, and this is not insult, this is a fair criticism. They had made a point where it's like, like Joe, like what is Joe gonna make content that's gonna help you, Ryan? And it was like, because these are the people that play really good, competitive Heroscape, and I don't make really competitive Heroscape content, right? And it's like finding your place in making content. It's not always, competitive. You don't have to know knowledgeable about everything. But if you're able to share something and bring something to the table that is something that other Heroscapers have never seen before, that to me is just a bigger draw than just having all the knowledge in the world. So, yeah. But good point, though. That's a really good point.
Because I love the competitive side of Heroscape, but I don't make a lot of content on it because I don't think I have enough track record to prove it. My goal this year is to win a tournament of some kind. Because the problem I have is I know what's good, but I don't like being a normie and just bringing what's good. So I always bring what's bad to see if I can make it work.
Yes.
But
Yes, that's why I can't wait for us to play. I can't wait to play this in person because it's like I'd be like, look, just play what you like to play. Like, I know To-marro are out there that are really good, but I just like playing the Hive. And then some weird combos, right?
just
see what
wait
works,
till
what doesn't work.
Thorman comes out. I'm going to be a Thorman main. I am running Thorman
There
all
you
the
go.
time. He's
There
my
he
man.
goes.
I was I've got a lot of ire from the I was playing OHS, which is like an online league, and I brought like this wonky Thorman build, and I did all right, like, but people kept on being like in the chat, no shade against Rogue, but this build is terrible. More like mad at Renegade for creating this, but I got three no shade against Rogues in the course of competition. I was like, that's a badge of honor for me right here.
There you go. Perfect.
G Busy says the people are great at the conventions more so than the game. Yeah, they're pretty good people. That's it. Why I keep on coming back.
Bill says, "Is there a way to play Heroscape as a co-op game?" I mean, easy answer. Easy answer for that would be, yeah, you could just play competitive Heroscape with somebody right next to you. You guys can build one entire army or play two smaller armies. For example, you could take 250 points. Your teammate could take 250 points, and you could play against two other people. That's technically co-op in my head. The other better answer would be Heroscape Adventure. Rogue knows it just as well as me that Heroscape Adventure is. I mean, I guess I'm gonna be putting words in his mouth. I guess I don't have to. I'll say it. Heroscape Adventure to me is the future of a next evolution for how Heroscape can be played. You have competitive Heroscape, you have scenarios, and you will have Heroscape Adventure. Just be like, look, type Heroscape Adventure, you'll find a video of mine. I talk about the rules, but it is an exact co-op experience that where it's like someone plays as the Scape Master, aka the Dungeon Master, and then you can have your players. Instead of the party, it's the Scapers, right? Scapers will pick one hero, depending on the format of that adventure. I'm actually going to be playing it this weekend. I'm having friends come up on Saturday. We're going to play a brand new adventure. I've been putting the most work I've ever done on an adventure. Super, super excited about it. You could take one hero and you'll walk around a map, play the game as normal. You're not changing anything. I'm just adding to it. You're not building an army. You're taking one hero and you're using everything on that hero's card. You're using order markers just the same. You're rolling initiative just as the same. And you go and open up chests. You're getting loot. You're making your character more powerful. You're developing a story as you go through the game. And you can play anything from going to defeat the Hive to seeing what crash landed into this, nature preserve in Valhalla. And the one that I'm currently working on right now is, oh my god, something in my eye. Going through an ever-changing, evolving maze. So you're building maps that are completely different, big or small, however you want to play. So I think as Heroscape is co-op game, Heroscape Adventure would be your answer. So either if you want to play it as a scaper or create an adventure for your own, you could do either. But definitely for a group of friends, you can probably take five scapers and one dungeon master or scape master, and play an awesome adventure.
I think also scenario play you can too if you kind of just say, hey, we both run the monster to make the like the D&D scenarios specifically are very well designed for co-op. You can just say the monster will make the most logical decision and we'll just roll that. Is like a good way to do co-op as well.
For sure.
But that's pretty much just Scape Adventure with less frill.
Right, right. And it's like even some of the renegade stuff, like it's some interesting scenarios. And once again, the scenarios are pretty much you're just playing more of a battle. But like Rogue said, like you could just, you and your teammate can play as the heroes, but then you could also take turns playing as the bad guys. But it all depends on what kind of experience you want. That's, I think, co-op. Okay, cool. You could play as competitively co-op. You could play scenario co-op, and then you gotta play Heroscape Adventure co-op. So it all depends on what kind of experience you want. I see Heroscape as an open box of possibilities, opposed to just like competitive, and it's only competitive, and that is it.
So G Busy says there's a format that's loved and hated by many called Reverse the Whip, where knowledge and use of obscure, weaker units is actually rewarded as you switch armies. Let me say, my favorite part of SASCON is I brought this wonky lava crabs with Shurak army, and my favorite part was just giving this to the top level players and then making them stress out over having to play my army. I got so much joy from watching these top level players be like, what do I do here? Because there's one thing I'm good at in Heroscape, and that's building a bad army. Yeah, I had several people.
Now, if you knew how to build a good army, do you think you would still have the knowledge to build a bad army that only you know how to play, but no one else could play?
Once Thorman comes out, I will be rating at Reverse the Whip pretty well, I think. Just because Thorman is so... You have Thorman, Mindbender, and Kraken, and just the sequence of all that is so complicated that unless someone knows what to do, they're going to be so lost in the cadence of it. Because let me talk to you about how Thorman, Mindbender, Kraken works. Because this is an average turn, because they are the most twisty units out there. Okay, so order marker 1, reveal it on Thorman. When you reveal an order marker, you're going to place the Kraken. So you place the Kraken next to Thorman. The Kraken is next to Mindbender. So at the start of Mindbender's turn, you put a gold marker on him because he gets to take a turn with another hero first. He gets to move all adjacent figures next to Mindbender 3 spaces forward. You take a turn with Mindbender. Mindbender can reveal the X marker on his card to take control of a unique figure. After that turn, you can take a turn with Thorman. If you do have enough Kraken on the board, you can also just take a turn with the Kraken instead of Thorman. And that is how a Thorman Kraken Mindbender turn goes.
Oh my god. Oh, and Bill says Thorman, Kraken, and Crimson Widow.
That one's fun. It's just Crimson Widow costs too much points. But that one's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Thorman Kraken. It's fun.
Yeah. Says that'd be great for Reverse the Whip.
I had the wackiest Reverse the Whip game at SASCON. So I had my lava crabs with some Tanukis and Shurak. Wonky army that's really built on dropping lava and knocking people into it. I did drop lava at one point. And then I double threw a full life Garushia into lava and killed him with my Tanukis.
Oh my god.
And then I lost the game because I critically failed like 4 times in a row against their repulsors. That took out Shurak.
Yeah, repulsors are actually go pretty hard.
They're repulsive, yeah.
Oh my god, I hate those units. That is such a good, so bad it's good.
Yeah, that's what Reverse the Whip is about. But I was doing Reverse the Whip, and I just kept on running into people who were like, I'm just going to run the good army and win 50% of the time. And I think I'm skilled enough that if someone gives me a bad army, I'll still win. The only problem with Reverse the Whip is that if you lose against your own army, you do feel like, ugh. Yeah, pushing people to lava the crabs with the Tanukis. Because not only was it just a 1 Tanuki, I had to double throw him, chaining it with the Tanukis, which is something the Tanukis can do because Tanukis have tons of crazy tech. For the Thyraxis, we put it in a soft tone, which we're going to have to let this dry. Joe, I think we're about ready to wrap this up. I'll keep this model as is, and I have to kind of wait for things to dry, so I'm kind of at a stopping point here. Thank you so much for joining on. I really enjoyed the conversation.
Yeah, this was so much fun. I love this.
So we'll definitely be doing this again with you or other guests that want to pop on. It won't be like every week because I just got to go around people's schedules, and I do want to actually help people paint. But hopefully, even just watching, give you something more to listen to than me rambling on and on. No, I had a great time. You helped me get base coat done for Thyraxis. We put the soft tone down just to kind of soften these colors. If you look at like Classic To-marro, they have a bit of normal wash, then they have like a secondary red wash. So I'll save this guy for next stream, as I wanted to get to the red wash, as there's a special method I use for it. But we won't be able to get there today. That's fine.
Ooh, cliffhangers. I like it.
Tune in next week. But I'll see you all next Thursday. We do have on this channel a lot of things in the works. One of my biggest videos I've ever been working on is coming. Hopefully before the end of this month. We have new releases, Renegade Con, as well as SaskCon review that I'm writing, and a Cyan tutorial that's half done that I just got to finish. So, Joe, you want to plug anything on your end?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm back, baby. I got a brand new video. I forgot what I called it, but head over to JoeCrazy 3193. Check that out. I'll have 2 more videos coming out this month. That's the goal. But mostly update videos talking about what's going on for the channel. So what's Joeing on, and then I'll probably do some How's It Joeing, where I can show off some wedding pictures and videos, and maybe talk about some of that hospital stuff that was going on. So if you're interested in life stuff. So anyway, yeah, that's what's going on. Otherwise, real exciting stuff this year. I'm super excited for 2026. Got a lot, and I think I've decided I'm gonna paint Kurok. I'm gonna paint Kurok. I was just looking at his paint scheme here. I think I pulled out some cool paints for that. So I'll definitely work on him soon. And I think I'll paint my oh my god, well, I can't think of his name now. Look, once again, look, there's so many figures.
Kurioti?
What is this? No. The small guy. You said to paint red.
Oh, the Sahuagin.
Sahuagin, yeah. So I found a pretty cool picture of a fish, not the flesh fish. So let's not go anywhere with that. But a red fish. I think it's called a. Well, I mean, I'm only seeing redfish, but like that's what it says. I think there's a specific name for it, but it's a very like kind of like salmon pink color, and it has like a white belly. So I'm thinking maybe something like that. I like trying to basing off some of my paints off of real life, animals. So I think I'm gonna might go that route. That might seem really interesting to me.
I like it. All right. Well, on that note, red fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. We're gonna let you go before we start thinking of another topic to talk about all night. So
Yes.
Good night, all, to those that are saying it, and thank you all for participating and hanging out. It's been a really fun night for me, and I hope to catch up with you all soon.